can't do me any real harm. Now, I've been handling animals all my life, so having a tarantula walk up my arm is quite exciting. Most people would be apprehensive, to say the least, but for some, they would be paralysed with fear. Joanne Cartwright is one of those people. She lives in an ordinary house, in an ordinary street in Seattle, but there's nothing ordinary about the way she lives. In fact, she spends every waking moment in a state of constant terror, never more than a cobweb away from a full-blown panic attack. For the past 20 years, she's had a phobia of spiders.
In my room, my blinds were never open. My window had never been open. I would duct tape the corners of my door every night, or every time I would go inside my bedroom.
And that's not all. Even in the warmest weather, you find Joanne in multiple layers to protect herself from spiders. She knows it's irrational, but like all true phobics, she can't help herself. To fully appreciate just how irrational, Joanne takes me through a typical day in the life of a full-on arachnophobic, including something as seemingly safe as doing the laundry.
I wouldn't sit down, and I'd be like this all the time, okay?
So you stand here for 45 minutes, an hour?
While the clothes dried like this. And as soon as that dryer went off, it was just like, oh God, okay. And I'd get my garbage bag, and I'd shake it out, even though I knew it was brand new. I'd hurry up and jam the clothes in there. I'd suck all the air out of it, twist it into a knot, put it down, and then I would sit on it to squish anything. I mean, it was so... Thinking that it was like a different person doing it.
An estimated 1 in 10 people, and the majority of them are women, suffer from some kind of phobia. An extreme fear of spiders is one of the most common. Traditional treatments like psychotherapy can help, but here's the problem. Even a brilliant therapist can't force a patient to fully confront their fears.
The biggest shortcoming, the biggest reason for failure of traditional therapy is the patient fails to become emotionally engaged. So they might tell you something but not actually be thinking it. They may not be visualizing it.
Dr. Hunter Hoffman from the University of Washington has helped pioneer a new type of therapy. It's still confrontational, but you don't have to face your nemesis in the hairy flesh. He's developed a virtual reality software program called Spider World, and Joanne is one of his first patients. She's affectionately dubbed Little Miss Muffet.
Okay, so if you want to just look around a little bit.
Using this virtual approach, Hunter is helping Miss Muffet become a new person. Within this virtual kitchen, step by step, she is being accustomed or habituated to a real world that's unavoidably full of real spiders. Her anxiety levels are measured on a scale from 10 down to 0. This isn't her first session, but when she first saw this cartoon spider drop from the pot, Joanne sat trembling on 10 for about half an hour.
You think you can tolerate it?
I'm going to.
Okay.
The graphics are actually quite simple, but totally effective. It's taken Joanne just 10 one-hour sessions on this software to virtually eliminate her fear of spiders. But Hunter hasn't finished with her yet. Today he's ready to up the ante, and this is a very big deal for Joanne. He's about to confront her with another, much bigger virtual spider.
If you're ready, we have this large tarantula that's hanging from the ceiling.
Oh.
And we'll,
okay.
Maybe you want to look around and see if you can see that.
It is.
So what kinds of sensations are you having right now?
I'm sweating profusely.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that my heart is racing, and I gotta stop this leg from bouncing up and down.
And there's one more challenge to go. Hunter's hung a fat rubber spider in the exact same spatial coordinates as the virtual spider, using an electromagnetic position sensor.
I think now you're ready to graduate to the next phase, which is to reach out and touch it.
Oh, wow, it moves. Oh, okay.
What's your anxiety with that?
Pen.
Okay. So what's going to happen if you just hang on to it?
I don't know.
What's going to happen to your anxiety?
It's going to go down.
Okay. So just hang in there.
She does hang in there, and her progress down from a 10 rating is astounding.
It's so weird that you have control over an object that controlled you for 20 years.
VR therapy's already proved itself in treating phobias. In fact, Hunter's success rate is around 85%. He's also confident that the same technology will be just as effective treating post-traumatic stress disorder. This complaint is most often associated with Vietnam veterans. But in recent years, the cause of some traumas has been much closer to home. Hunter has developed a program for the survivors and witnesses of the 9/11 Twin Towers attack. It's based on the same principles as the spider therapy. And even for me, the anxiety builds steadily as I wait for the inevitable. Now remember, just like Joanne's virtual kitchen, I'm seeing this in more or less 3D. It really does put you in the picture. It makes you feel like you're right there in the scene.